Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ebony. If you are new here, in today's video I'm taking you inside my kitchen cabinets along with my pantry as well. So as you see, I have a fairly small space, so I just wanted to give you all the hacks and tips that I use to maximize my space. So let's go ahead and get into it. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the pantry. Now I keep everything simple whenever I do organize the pantry, and this just makes it super functional for our family. So the first thing I want to talk about are those sealed containers at the top. Now I purchased those from Amazon and they come as a set, and what I do is I just use like our top 10 items that we use for the kitchen when snacking or when cooking, and I just use a container for each of those items, and they stay fresh for a fairly long time within those sealed containers. And usually I'll just label it on the bottom. I'm not huge on labeling. But the second thing I want to talk about are Lazy Susans. Now these are super functional whenever you are organizing any space, and you honestly can use these anywhere. So I just categorize the items on the Lazy Susans based on how we use those items. So in other words, like all canned goods together, all oils are together, and things like that. So the next thing we're going to talk about is how I organize my baskets. So I use baskets for everything within cabinets, within the pantry, but I just categorize everything based on how we eat them, to be honest. So like all of our breads are together, all of our snacks are together, and things like that. So it just makes it easy for us to find everything, and I don't have to label a ton of stuff because I don't have like a ton of food. So I just make sure to order our groceries weekly or as needed, and I don't have so much stuff within one space. So that just seems to work best whenever we are organizing everything and then making sure nothing goes to waste. So the next thing I want to talk about are expired items. So one thing I always like to do is just every so often go through everything as far as like sauces or medicines and things like that, and just make sure everything that is expired is thrown out. The next thing I want to talk about are using containers within your drawers. Just always make sure whatever you go to that drawer for, that you know exactly what you're going there for. So whatever you put in there, you are having a plan of why you're putting those items in there. Next thing is we don't have any type of pot holders or anything like that. We just use those silicone mittens, and those have saved a ton of space as well. And also within the cabinets, we categorize like all of our glassware is together, all of our plates and saucers and things like that, so we know exactly where everything is whenever we do go into the cabinets. Also, I'm not a huge fan of like the Pinterest worthy spices, so I just keep all of our spices in that basket, and that just seems to work super well for our family. So I know exactly where everything's at. I pull it out when I need it and put it back when I'm done. And I also want to talk about sealed containers. Now sealed containers are very important. You can use them for leftovers, you can use them for packing your lunches, so they are definitely multi-purpose as far as within the kitchen. So I always make sure to have sealed containers within the cabinets as well. Next thing I want to talk about is keeping your small appliances in the cabinets. Now if you have space or you can make space, it is definitely important to keep those within your cabinets and take them off of your countertop. It'll definitely make your space look a lot bigger than it actually is. And then I just also have designated areas for everything. So this space is Ebony. She knows that she can go and get a cup and a plate whenever it's needed. So I just make sure everything has a purpose on where it's placed. Underneath the sink, I just keep our cleaning supplies. We have a fairly small space in general, so I also keep our tools under there as well. The different cleaners that I just use Everspring all-purpose spray, and then I also use Mrs. Meyer's. I have been using Mrs. Meyer's for years. It is an all natural cleaner, and I just purchased it from Target. And then to clean my sink, I always use the Dawn Power Wash, and that works great as well. And then I also wanted to mention that I use this paper towel holder. Instead of having my paper towels on the countertop, I just use this holder underneath the sink, and it just maximizes my space, and especially using the cabinet door as well. So these are just a few hacks that I use within my kitchen. I make everything simple and functional whenever it comes to my families. So I hope you're able to use some of these hacks, tips, and tricks to maximize your space. And you can use a lot of these different hacks within your whole house, or just use like the sort of the same step-by-step process as well. So don't forget to subscribe. I would love for you to be a part of my YouTube family here, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.